Okay, so today I'm going to show you guys how to format an APA document. I think this is much easier than typing the instructions because the running head is a real pain in the butt. So here we go. So when you open your document, the first thing you need to do is change your font to times 12. That just should be something you automatically do right away. So now you go into Insert, and much like an MLA, you're going to add some page numbers, but there's a catch. So click page number, top of page, and you want that third option. So it should look like this. Don't type. Instead, click different first page. If you do not do this, you cannot format your running head properly. Now, if you're using a Mac, I don't know how to do this, I'm so sorry. Or if you're on Google Docs, it's a little trickier. And I haven't mastered it. So if you are writing on those mediums, when you submit your documents to me, remember to do it in doc or PDF form. When you do that, make sure you send me a note so I don't discount you points for your running head. So the next thing you do is go back to Insert, page number, just like before, top of page, third option. So now you have a number. You're going to type the words running head, caps lock, title of your paper. Now, title of your paper is going to be something way more fantastic than that. Be cautious though, because the entire header can only be 32 characters long. So if you're like me and you have really long titles, it means simply that you can only include part of it in your header. So running title of your paper, after you do that, you're going to space over because it will not let you go back out. And if you do what I just did, then you, right there. So you're done. But now you need your second page. So you're going to go down to your second page, and you could do a page break, but for some reason that screws up the author's note. I don't know why. So where your number 2 is, you're going to double click, and you're just going to type again in caps lock, title of your paper. And you're going to space it all the way over. So note that the words running head do not appear here. They're only on that first page. Close. So just to double check and make sure that your third page is right, there you go. So if you follow those steps, you have done it right. You have completed your header. So now you need to fix your spacing. A lot of people don't know how to do this properly. So you go into line spacing options, which is normally where you'd select double space. Click here, click line spacing options. You need to make this, where it says an 8, a 0. You need to click the box that says don't add space between paragraphs of the same style, and you need to set it to double. Okay. So if you get a comment from me saying you need to fix your spacing, it typically means you didn't click that box, and it makes the spaces between your paragraphs bigger. So now, let's format your title page. So you're going to hit center, you're going to go down about 8, you're going to type title of your paper, and then your name. So I don't want to type Kelly Franklin because some people get confused and think teacher's name. So I'm going to type Fancy Pants. Let's pretend that's your name. So after Fancy Pants, then you type your school. Now I'm aware that some of you aren't students at SWIC. That's fine. You can type the name of your college right there, okay? So then you're going to go down to the bottom of your page and you're going to type your author's note. This is where you can put information about the class, the date you submitted it, your professor. I usually word it like, this project was submitted in final draft, if it is a final draft, form on for January 2017 in order to satisfy requirements for Kelly Franklin's Comp 2 online course. It can be as easy as that. Or you could be more specific. Satisfy requirements for the zombie assignment in Kelly Franklin's ENG 10602 course. Or you can even say in order to argue, whatever you want to do. So that is your title page, you guys. running head, title of your paper, your name, school, your author's note. So you click down to your second page, and second page in APA is always where your abstract goes. Now sometimes you'll have a professor who doesn't require one, so it's just smart to ask so you don't waste your time. But even though this is your second page, don't do it until you're done with your document because it's just a summary. So your abstract's written in block form. You just tab it over, and it's 200 to 500 words long. You can say I in abstract. So in the first unit when we did that database scavenger hunt and you were clicking on the abstracts to read what the articles were about, this is the same thing. You can say something like zombie popularity has spiked since 9/11. In order to understand this trend, I surveyed the following theories, blah, 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 blah. Whatever you use to create the paper, whatever scientists, whatever theories, whatever you want, and you can say I in the abstract. So let's pretend that's 250 to 500 words long. You hit tab, put keywords in italics, and then you're going to list 3 to 5 terms that you use in your paper that a reader would, like when they see it, go, oh yeah, I need to learn about Schadenfreude. I want that article. Or I don't know what Schadenfreude means. Maybe I should study that before I read this paper. I spelled that wrong. All right. So that is your abstract, second page. So now you're on to finally where your paper happens, and I know this seems extremely redundant, and I think it's really stupid, but you type the title of your paper again, and then underneath it, type introduction. APA likes headings, and I think you will like headings. I know I do now. Even when I'm writing an MLA, I tend to use headings all the time. And if you struggle with transitions, headings are your friend. So you put the heading in bold. The only required headings you have to have in APA are introduction and conclusion. Whatever else is in between for your paper can be whatever you want. Say you want a heading called argumentative theories, literature review, stuff that's helpful, background story, whatever you want to do. The only required ones are introduction and conclusion. Your paper would start here, just like normal. Let's say your introduction goes this far and you're ready to move on to theoretical information in your paper. There you go. And it would go back just like the beginning. So you're done. So let's pretend like that was a lot of pages long. Oh, sorry. I want to make sure you have your all right, so let's pretend that was like 75,000 pages long. You just waxed on prophetically, you're super smarty pants. Your references would go here. Now in APA, your references look different, and I'm just going to pull this one out of nowhere. Let's pretend I wrote an article, which I did, but I don't have it in front of me. What's the title? Okay, so that is an article that I wrote, and that is the title. I'm not going to move on with the rest of the things that would come in the citation because I don't know off the top of my head and I don't want to screw you up. But I wanted you to pay attention to the fact that APA doesn't care about the first name. It just becomes the first initial, and APA's date comes second. So pretend that I didn't have the author's name. What would I do? Would I start with the date? No. You'd start with the name of the article, and then your date would come right here. So never start with the date, okay? It should always be second. And then if you notice in the title, the only things I capitalized were the first word, the letter after a colon, and then these proper nouns. Other than that, everything stays small. And references page is alphabetized just like MLA works cited pages by whatever comes first in the beginning part of your citation. So that is how you format an APA document. I hope this was helpful. If I could figure out how to turn it off, I will. Let's see. Where'd it go? It's probably still recording.